came in. My mummy opened the envelope to reveal that it was just was green on the top and the sleeves had brown ruffles. I thought I looked so cool, so I went to school. I am still mad at my parents for sending me to school and that. Everyone stared at me while I walked into class, even my teacher. She was telling us to go down to get our pictures taken by our last names, and I went in the beginning since my last name starts with C. I went down and then my stomach started to hurt. I ate McDonald's for breakfast because my parents were too lazy to make breakfast. I honestly started to pray to Whitney Houston that I wouldn't chart. I held my hands to my ass and walked to the photo booth. My stomach started to rumble, grumble, bumble, trumble, number, mumble, zumble, rumble. I tried act natural, so I removed my hands from my ass and got ready to take my picture. While I was standing there, I did the most soggy doggy, sounded froggy, came out cloggy, looked loggy, made the room foggy, very soggy. I pulled Vanessa Barrett. It made the school building shake so much to the point people thought there was a level 5 tornado. I shat so much that it covered the camera right when they took the photo. When they realized it was my ass and not a tornado, I was immediately rushed to the emergency room and they diagnosed me with the one and only bowel cancer.
When I was younger, I was in Walmart and I was eating a tube of Pringles and I ate them while my mom paid, but I forgot to let the guy scan them, so I walked out to Walmart and the alarm went off and I just started running because I got scared and my mom couldn't find me because I was hiding behind the newspaper things, and the Walmart people called the police because I was missing, and when I hear them show up, I thought I was a criminal, so I left my mom a note on the newspaper that said I went to Mexico to start a new life and not come looking for me, and then I took off running with my Pringles and ran for like an hour, and then the cops saw me walking down the road, so they pulled over, so I started running again, and then they were using the car intercom thing and they told me to stop running. So when I did, I thought they were going to put me in handcuffs and take me to jail, so I was crying and I slapped the officer in the stomach and tried to run again, but he just held me back, and when he asked me what happened to me and I told him, he started crying because he was laughing so hard. And he just gave my mom $2 for the Pringles, and he was still laughing when he left. And at the time, I was a wanted criminal.
So y'all remember how PE teachers used to make you run a mile in elementary school? Well boy, do I have a fucking story for you. So I was out on the field running my second lap and my stomach started hurting because my fucking mom decided to buy McDonald's for breakfast. So I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, and that bitch-ass Trump gorilla looking motherfucker said no, so I just kept running and prayed to Michael Jackson that it would go away. So I'm on my third lap and I have to fart. And on God, I pulled Vanessa Barrett. So much shit came out that I could literally make a 4-course meal with it. And a chocolate fountain for dessert. I was about to fucking cry. Obviously I wasn't gonna tell my teacher that I shit myself, so I just said I felt like I was gonna throw up. So I go to the clinic literally holding my hands on my ass so nobody would see my shit. When I get to the clinic, the nurse tells me to sit down, but in my head I'm like, bitch, if I sit down your chair is gonna look like the chocolate river from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I just lean on the wall until my mom comes to pick me up. When I stand up off the wall to go to the bathroom, my shit is smeared on the wall and the nurse looks at it and she's like, what the fuck? Was that you? And I was like, ew. Hell no. And I run to the bathroom and my whole ass had shit on it, and when my mom picked me up I started crying because she asked what smelled like dog shit and she thought she stepped in something, and I had to tell her it was my ass. One day when I was packing my lunch, my grandpa asked me what I was eating, so I told him I was gonna eat a sandwich, apples and Takis. He asked what Takis were and I said they were spicy chips. He asked to try one, but my grandma told me that if I gave him a Taki I would regret it. I gave him one anyway. When he bit the Taki he jumped 65 feet in the air screaming. He was asking for milk and we gave him milk, but we forgot he was also lactose intolerant. While he was drinking the milk he ran out of the room and tripped on our pet pussy. He started farting and it sounded like we lived next to NASA when a rocket is about to launch. He let out the longest sloppy gloppy bloppy moppy noppy copy loppy floppy sloppy. When he fell I heard his back crackle McFrackle tackle. His back cracked, the cat attack, welches get attract. He broke his back, his shit turned abstract, he fell on the floor and couldn't get up no more. He was very sore, he looked like a dead boar. The pussy went bonker yonker plonker knocker conkers. We rushed him to the hospital and found out he died from a ruptured ribcage and explosive diarrhea. We also found out he had lymphedema, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, bowel cancer, the bubonic plague, the coronavirus, the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, malaria, AIDS, shitworm, measles and polio. I used to have this art teacher and everyone hated her. She was the biggest bitch, like she was literally so mean and strict, and for what? What was the reason? Anyways, one day she was really testing my limits and she had the motherfucking audacity to rip up and throw away a project I worked on for a week because she said it quote unquote wasn't good enough and that I never even try in her class. Even though I worked so hard on it and I did the best I could. I was mad at her for saying I didn't ever try and that my work wasn't good enough for her, so I was thinking to myself, shut your bubble gum, skin tone, chicken bone, Google Chrome, no homo, flip phone, disowned, ice cream cone, garden gnome extra. Chromosome, metronome, dimidome, genome, full grown, monochrome, student loan. Indiana Jones, overgrown, Flintstone, X and Y chromosome, friend zone, Sylvester Stallone, Sierra Leone, AutoZone, friend zone, professionally seen, silver patron, big-headed ass up. And out of anger I grabbed my backpack and said no, I am gonna leave. My way or the highway. And I stormed out of that ugly bitch's class and flipped her off on the way out. I deadass ran out of the school and walked all the way home since I lived close to the school. My mom asked me why I was home early. Was suspended for 3 days for doing that, but oh well, fuck that bitch. I have a story. One day in 5th grade we were on a field trip. On the bus I was sitting next to this weird girl named Patty McBerry. For some fucking reason Patty was so excited about the trip. We were going to a fucking museum. What the actual fuck, who likes museums? They are so fucking boring. Anyways, halfway through the trip Patty McBerry started coughing viciously. She had a seizure due to overexcitement. She was shaking from happiness for the rest of the ride. When we got there Patty McBerry ran out of that bus faster than coronavirus spreads. She fainted because she was so excited. The tour guide had to hold on to Patty while he showed us around because she was too hyper. Out of nowhere, Patty McBerry broke free and ran right to the live animal section. She went to the gorilla's enclosure and smushed her face against the cage wall. Then out of nowhere she starts climbing up the fucking wall. Patty McBerry jumped into the enclosure and tackled the gorilla out of excitement. The gorilla ate Patty and she died.
Story time! In my old school, I was in a friend group of 5 girls, including me. Annie, Camila, Jenna, and Emily. We were all like best friends and always had sleepovers on Fridays or on the weekend. But Camila always said that she couldn't make it because she had soccer practice. We all said, it's okay, you'll come next time, even though she never came, and we never thought anything about it. Until one Wednesday afternoon at lunch when Emily went to the bathroom. We were all like, oh my god, we should totally throw her a slumber party for her birthday next week Friday. And everybody said, yes, of course, and we all started planning it. Of course, Camila said, sorry, I have soccer practice, I can't make it. And me, as a straightforward person I am, said, you really can't miss one soccer practice for your best friend's birthday party? She, of course, felt really, really bad and said, okay, fine, I'll go. We were all super happy, but that was obviously a really bad idea. Part 2 of my last story time. So the day comes of Emily's birthday and we go to her house and we set up all the decorations, the piñata, the cake, all the arts and crafts, all the activities and everything. And we arrive, like we surprise her and we do all the activities, we eat cake, we do the piñata, a bunch of stuff, and then it starts getting pretty late. So we decide, oh my god, let's go upstairs and like watch scary movies and tell scary stories and let's bring all the candy. So we went upstairs with like all the candy, like a bunch of candy, and we all set up our like movie spot and we start watching scary movies and telling scary stories. Everybody gets pretty tired and we're all like, yeah, I'm going to bed, yeah, me too. But for some reason Camila was like, no guys, let's pull an all-nighter. But that night, something very scary happened. Part 3 of the Camila story time. In the middle of the night, I hear a noise, so I decide to get up because I had to go to the bathroom anyways. I see that a bucket of Twizzlers were tipped over. I thought, oh, maybe someone else also had to go to the bathroom. Let me go look for them. And while I'm leaving the room, I see that Camila is the only one who's not in her sleeping bag. I go to the nearest bathroom and I check if anyone's in there, and there's no one in there. I really had to go to the bathroom, so I got inside and I did my business, and while I was doing my business, I heard a door slam. After I finished doing my business, I got up and I started looking for Camila in all the bathrooms, because Emily's house was really, really big. I go look around in the other bathrooms and there's no one in them. I decide to go back upstairs and wake up Annie, Emily, and Jenna. We all start searching the house, but we can't find Camila anywhere. At this moment, we were all scared that she had gotten kidnapped. Then we go into Camila's parents' bedroom and we see that the dad is... Last and final part of the Camila story time. So when we went into Emily's parents' bedroom, not Camila's, sorry about the confusion on my last video, we see that Emily's dad wasn't there, and we start thinking that Emily's dad kidnapped Camila. Emily was bawling her eyes out. We were all super scared, and I had never been this scared in my entire life. Emily's dad was like a second dad to me, so I was super scared that I had been hanging around a kidnapper my entire life. Emily's mom woke up and said what's going on, and we tell her the whole story, and she's like, girls, calm down, Camila went home. We were all like, wait, what? And she was like, go get some rest, I'll tell you tomorrow at breakfast. At breakfast, Emily's dad was back. He explained to us that Camila was scared of the dark and scared of sleeping at other people's houses. And she probably dropped the bucket of Twizzlers when she was getting up to go tell Emily's parents that she wanted to go home. Camila's fine now and everything's okay. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on my videos. Of lies. Another one is when she told everyone she's Latina. It was lunchtime in school and we were talking about where we went for the summer. Sarah tells us that she went to Spain and she started telling us on what she did there and says that she's 50% Latina. She also said that she lived in Spain for 6 years, and if there is any person who lived in Spain for 6 years, they must know how to speak Spanish. And then my friend Kayla asked her what does good morning mean in Spanish. Then Sarah looks at us, looks back at her food, and said, I don't know, I'm still taking Spanish lessons. And we just look at her that she doesn't even know what good morning means in Spanish. If she had lived in Spain for 6 years, she would have known what it meant. I don't know how, but that incident has spread around the entire school. Every person that walks past Sarah just says, Buenos dias, basically teasing her about not knowing what good morning means in Spanish. And then Sarah didn't show up to school for 3 days after that. And oh boy, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part.
The 3 days pass, and Sarah comes back to school. As soon as she walks into the class, everyone's eyes was on her. Lashes, and her hair was in a bun with edges. Yes, you heard me, edges. This lady is white, and in lunchtime, she took out a bag of hot Cheetos and some dipping sauce. I don't know if this was supposed to make us think she's Latina, but trust me, it didn't work. All of the freshmen and sophomores took out their phone and started filming her. This is where I kind of felt bad, but she ran to the bathroom crying, and she just stayed there and didn't show up to any classes for the rest of the day.
My little sis is watching Peppa Pig at full volume and not giving me any space to record this. But anyway. Stop saying I'm watching Peppa Pig! I'm a big girl! No, you're not. You're tiny. I'm massive. Did you just call yourself a fat pig? I call myself a big woman. What? You're that idiot woman. You're an idiot when you're filming for your friends to get famous. Ew. I'm not filming for my friends to get famous. I'm filming for you to get famous. And anyway, Peppa Pig's the best, so mind your own business. I thought you just said you don't watch it because you're a big girl. Well, life changes. And anyway,
What, in 10 seconds?
yeah. And anyway, when I watch it, it's so good.
Like, do you like George?
Yeah, he's my favorite. Yeah, I have a crush on him.
Story time about how my neighbor killed my